Hmm. Good morning. This is San Patricio County Court at Law 2. This is our felony status docket. Mr. Sells is still not present. I'm waiting on him. So as soon as he makes an appearance, we'll get started with this docket.
Judge, just to give you information, it's going to be Mr. Gardner this morning, and
Oh,
then
okay.
Mr. Sales will be jumping in. He's running a little bit late.
Apparently Mr. Gardner is too.
Judge,
Yes. Is Sylvia here? Who said judge?
it's Kim.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Jason Lopez on page 6, he's at the top. Mr. DeCarlo is out sick, so he will not be here, and they have not been able to get a hold of Mr. Lopez.
Okay. Jason Lopez.
Yes, ma'am, on page 6.
Okay. Mr. DeCarlo is not feeling well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Where's Sylvia?
I'm unaware at the moment, but I can text her for you.
Okay.
Hello?
Mr. Winfield, if you'll just wait, we'll get started in just a minute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. Again, you're in County Court at Law 2. This is our felony status docket. Mr. Archibald, I have let into the courtroom Dylan Winfield. Mr. Winfield, if you'll share your video, please.
You can hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can. Now I need to see you.
Your Honor, I think he doesn't have a camera. Might be part of the problem.
Okay. All
I'm
right,
trying to
then
get her
this is cause number 23-CR-92677-B State versus Dylan Winfield. Mr. Archibald?
Yes, Your Honor, we have gotten the alcohol results back, so we just need to set this for a pre-trial.
Okay. How does March 7th work for you?
If it could be like the next week, it'd be probably better.
Then I have March 28th.
Yeah, March 28th will work.
Do you want morning or afternoon?
Afternoon, please.
All right, March 28th at 1:30. Mr. Winfield, your next court setting will be a pretrial on March 28th at 1:30. That will be in person at the courthouse in Sinton. And we will send out a
Yes, Your
setting
Honor.
notice, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for your appearance this morning. You are free to log off.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Archibald, I don't know that I see anyone else in the waiting room. That is your client.
All right. Should have Jeffrey Scott and Hector Vargas. Those would be the only two that I would be expecting.
I don't show either one of them as being here.
Okay, well, let me make a quick phone calls here and see if I can get them on.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Schimmel.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I don't see you on the
Morning.
docket. So what case are you appearing on?
Your Honor, I thought that I had two. One was Dakota Rain, and one was,
Okay.
I believe, Efren Gomez.
All right, I do see Dakota Rain. Let me find Mr. Gomez. There's Mr. Gomez. All right, so there's a motion to substitute counsel. That's, all right, Efren Rain, Efren Gomez, there he is. Let me let him in. Dakota, I don't see him. All right, this is cause number 22-CR-90890, State versus Efren Gomez. Good morning, Mr. Gomez. I will sign the motion or the order on the motion to substitute counsel. And Mr. Schimmel, what do you have to report on this case?
Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, the only thing that I know, Your Honor, we were hired very recently, I think a couple of days ago, and I don't have discovery yet. I understand that Mr. Gomez has a unfiled felony case, I believe. I don't want to mislead the court, but that's what I think is going on.
Okay, Mr. Gardner, do you have any information concerning that?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Trying to get my my muting to unmute. Which case is it? You said Dakota Rain?
No, sir, this is Efren Gomez. This was originally Mr. Stolley's case, and there's a motion to substitute. And so Mr. Schimmel is not as familiar with the circumstances of this case because I believe they were just hired on this.
Okay. If Mr. Schimmel can send me a discovery request and all those things, then I'm sure that we can resolve all the discovery issues he may have and forward a plea offer to him.
Do you have any information? Is there a pending felony? Do you know whether or not there is?
Just a second, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, in Mr. Gardner's defense, we probably have not sent a discovery request yet. I think it's pretty new, but I'll take care of that today.
No problem. Thank you.
There is a pending felony, Your Honor.
Okay.
If his client is Efren Gomez III,
Yes.
there's a pending third-degree felony.
All right. Then let's set this. This is January, March, April. Let's set this for April 19th for an additional felony status. Mr. Gomez, your next appearance will be by Zoom as well. We're setting it for April 19th. The setting notice will say 8:30. If your attorney wishes to change the time, he'll have the option to do that. Thank you for your appearance this morning. If you're talking, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Thank you for your time this morning. Thank you, Your Honor, for everything today. And also, I told you good morning. I'm sorry. I thought I wasn't muted. Sorry about that. I didn't
That's
unmute
okay.
myself.
All right. So we will see you back by Zoom on April 19th.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be here on April 19th.
Okay. Be sure and stay in contact with your attorney. Have a good
Yes,
day.
ma'am. I will. You as well, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, Mr. Schimmel, I don't see Mr. Rain, so if you want to try to reach out to him, we'll be here all morning.
Judge, thank you. I've done that. And when I hear from him, can we log back in if I can find
Yes,
him?
sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thanks.
Okay.
Your Honor, I believe my clients are on now.
All right. Give me some names.
So Hector, he says he's it's Vargas, but he says he's under Sepulveda.
Okay, Sepulveda, yes, I see him. All right. Let's take care of him then.
Okay.
Hector Vargas is on page 1 of the docket. He has 2 cause numbers 22-CR-89677 and 22-CR-89676, State versus Hector Vargas.
Yes, Your Honor. And good news is we have received the lab reports back on these ones as well, so we can set them for a pretrial.
All right. I'll give you that same date of March 28th at 1:30.
Okay.
Mr. Vargas, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next court appearance will be in person at the courthouse in Sinton. It's set for March 28th at 1:30. We will send out setting notices. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Archibald between now and then. Thank you, sir. You are free to log off.
And then Jeffrey Scott said that he was logging on when I called him, so.
I don't see him, so we'll just wait and give him a moment. And let's see. Miss Petrazik, am I pronouncing your name incorrectly? I apologize.
It's okay. I should have married a Smith, Judge.
It would make things easier. How are you this morning?
Doing well, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. You have Iratzi Cepeda Betanzos, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
Right, I am letting them into the courtroom right now. This is cause number 22-CR-90328, State versus Iratzi Betanzos. All right. What is your, what is the information you have on this case?
I think that Mr. Gardner may have more information than me, Your Honor. I think we're still waiting on the lab results from the felony case.
Okay, have you reached out to the district attorney's office on that?
Not recently, Your Honor. I plan on following up with them about that.
Okay,
Your Honor, a case is still pending. It's at intake at the DA's office. It is a second-degree felony.
all right, then we will give this another felony status setting of April 19th. It will be at 8:30, and of course, you'll have the option to change that time if you wish to. Ms. Betanzos, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next court appearance will be April 19th. That will be by Zoom as well. Be sure and stay in contact with your attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You are free to log off.
Thank you, Your Honor. That was my only case on your docket this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank
day.
You too. Have a great weekend.
Mr. DeFreitas, I know I saw you on here. There you are. Let's see what you've got.
I am, Judge. Sorry, I'm just about pulling in this sitting right now.
Okay, I'm gonna let Dallas Carlson into the courtroom. These are cause numbers 23-CR-91661-B and 91660-B, State versus Dallas Carlson.
Yes, Your Honor. I checked with The DA, they said everything's in the office, but they said the case hasn't been touched since July last year, so I don't.
I'm losing you on sound. They said the DA's office said what? I'm sorry.
It hasn't been touched since last July,
Okay.
so I don't know when the, you know,
All
I
right.
know that the desk sort of gave me a shrug.
Okay.
So I think
Well,
it's sort
then,
of in line to be indicted, but I don't have a time frame on that.
all right, then we will set this for an additional felony status on April 19th. Mr. Carlson, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next court setting will be April 19th at 8:30. If Mr. DeFreitas changes the time, he'll let you know. That will also be by Zoom.
April 19th?
Yes, sir. And we will send out a setting notice to you and Mr. DeFreitas. Thank you, sir. You're free to log off.
Alrighty. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Eric, is it Sidell, Mr. DeFreitas?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me look at my notes.
All right, let me put the cause number on the record. This is cause number 22-CR-90900, State versus Eric Sidell.
It's a tampering case, Your Honor. As far as I know, from what I've been told, is the case file isn't in the computer or isn't, I don't know if it's not in the office or if it's not been prepared, but it didn't sound like it was close to indictment.
Okay, then we will give this an additional felony status of April 19th at 8:30 with the option to change the time. Mr. Sidell, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next court setting is April 19th at 8:30 unless Mr. DeFreitas changes that time. You will receive a setting notice. You're muted.
Sorry. You said it was April 19th?
Yes, sir. And when you appear next time, it's just the same as being in a courtroom. So I'm going to ask that you not wear a cap.
Okay, yes, ma'am. My apologies.
All right. So you can remove your cap. Thank
Sorry.
you. All right. April 19th at 8:30. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. DeFreitas.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. You're free to log off.
Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Cosme Losario. I do not see Cosme Losario. That is cause number 22-CR-90444. Mr. DeFreitas, have you had any contact with him?
It's been a while, Your Honor. I don't, if I remember correctly, I don't even know if he has a phone, but I'm in Sinton. Once we get done with this phone call, I will try to reach out to him.
Okay, I do show that he does have a warrant, so I'm guessing
Oh, okay.
he
So
probably hasn't appeared
come last time.
previously. He's got two cases. He also has 22-CR-90445. But certainly if you get a hold of him and he makes an appearance this morning, we'll take care of what we can.
yeah.
Do you
Just
know?
FYI. Yes, I was gonna say they said the case file isn't in there also, so I don't think it's particularly close to indictment.
Okay. April 19th. At 8:30. Veronica Olvera. I don't see her in the waiting room. This is cause number 22-CR-90056 and 22-CR-90754, State versus Veronica Olvera. She is not in the waiting room. Do you have any information on her cases?
Yes, Your Honor, same announcement. I was told that they don't have the case file. It hasn't been worked up yet, so it'll be a little bit.
Okay. If you can get her to log on this morning, we won't issue a alias capias.
I'll work on it, Your Honor.
All right, 20, your last one is Belinda Garza. I've let her into the courtroom 22-CR-89802.
Okay. I believe they said that one, the case file is in. They said they're waiting for labs. I don't know if they've received them or if that's a still waiting. But that's where it is. It sounds like it's closer to indictment than the rest of these.
Okay, then I think that April date will be appropriate. April 19th at 8:30. Ms. Garza, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next appearance will be by Zoom as well. It will be April 19th. Your setting notice will say 8:30. Mr. DeFreitas will have the option to change that time if he needs to, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. DeFreitas. Thank you for your appearance this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have before the court.
All right.
I think may I be excused.
Yes, thank you, Mr. DeFreitas.
Judge, I have Mr. Story and his client in the courtroom. Also, they're on page 9, the top of page 9. Oh, Mr. Story, you want to come?
Okay. This is cause number 23-CR-92253-B State versus Christine Hawkins. Good morning, Mr. Story. Good morning, Ms. Hawkins.
Good morning.
Mr. Story, what information do you have concerning Ms. Hawkins?
Your Honor, she's still pending a felony case with the DA's office.
Then we will set this for an additional felony status on April 19th at 8:30. And of course, you'll have the option to change that time if you wish to.
Yes, Your Honor.
And since y'all are here in the courthouse, let's get you to, Kim, are you gonna do the setting notice?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay, if you'll swing by the office and y'all can sign that setting notice, and then we've got that taken care of.
Very good. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you for your appearance this morning.
Thank you.
Mr. Palacios is here in the courtroom also.
Okay,
I don't know where his clients are, but they should be on.
all
They
right.
should be on. He's Sam.
All right, Mr. Palacios, let me find some of your clients here.
Page 3.
All right, Sebastian Martinez is in the waiting room, so I'm going to let him in. This is cause number 22-CR-90986, State versus Sebastian Martinez. Good morning, Mr. Palacios.
Good morning, Judge.
What information do you have on his pending felony?
Judge, I called, let's see, 2 days ago, and his felonies are still pending, Judge.
Mr. Martinez, please remove your cap. You are in a courtroom.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. All right, so the felony is still pending. Is that correct, Mr. Palacios?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, then we will give you an additional felony status date of April 19th at 8:30. Mr. Martinez, that will be by Zoom as well. It's set for 8:30. Mr. Palacios will have the option to change that time if he needs to. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Palacios.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off.
Thank you.
Have a good day. All right, let's see who else you've got, Mr. Palacios. Ryan Castro, I'm going to admit Mr. Castro. This is cause number 23-CR-91438-B and 91439-B. State of Texas versus Ryan Castro.
Judge, same announcement. Is that Mr. Castro?
That is this hard hat on.
Mr. Castro, can you remove your hat, please?
Okay, but you may have to keep it on for safety. I don't know.
Okay.
The hard hat.
Oh, I didn't see that, Judge.
Is it a hard hat? Yeah.
It's tiny on the screen, but same announcement, Judge, called the DA's office. His felony is still pending.
All right, then we will set this for felony status on April 19th at 8:30. Mr. Castro, your next court appearance is April 19th. That will be by Zoom as well. It's set for 8:30. Mr. Palacios will have the option to change the time. Be sure and stay in contact with him. Thank you, sir. You're free to log off. Hector Guetta. This is cause number 21-CR-88406, State versus Hector Guetta.
Come down here and do it, or you don't?
Mr. Guetta's having some problems connecting, but you can go on and let me know what's going on. He's been in the waiting room quite a while.
Judge, he has been indicted. He is set for trial March 4th. So I would ask that we have this case set sometime, I guess, shortly after. And if we dispose of his felony case sooner, I'll let the court know. I'll let you know, Judge, and maybe we can take care of his misdemeanor
All
soon.
right. So let's give him a pretrial of March 28th. And if we need to reset that date, we can. Do you prefer morning or afternoon?
I guess morning, Judge, would be fine.
All right. March 28th at 9 o'clock. I don't remember if I put the cause number on the record. This is 21-CR-88406, State versus Hector Guetta. Mr. Guetta is still trying to log on into the courtroom. So if you'll just let him know, and of course we'll send out setting notices.
Will do, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Palacios.
I
have let into the courtroom Ms. Aparicio. This is
Yes,
cause number 22-CR-90806, State versus Amelia Aparicio.
Judge, her case is still pending indictment upstairs at the DA's office.
All right. Then we will give you a felony status of April 19th at 8:30. Ms. Aparicio, your next appearance will be by Zoom as well. It is set on April 19th at 8:30. If Mr. Palacios will have the option to change the time if he needs to. And if he does, he'll inform you of that change. Thank you for your appearance this morning, and you're free to log off.
These notices will get sent to me, Judge, or is this our?
Well, since you're here, will you swing by the office and
Sure.
get yours?
I can do
Is
that,
that
Judge.
okay? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Judge.
good day.
Thanks,
Yes,
you too.
sir.
Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
let's see, I think, is it Jeffrey Scott? Yes, he is here.
Okay.
Court's calling cause number 22-CR-89638 and 22-CR-89857 State versus Jeffrey Tyler Scott.
Yes, Your Honor, in this case, the felony has been indicted. We are set for a trial date on the 2nd of April. So I think if we can have that April 19th status hearing, that would be great.
Okay. Then we will set this for felony status on April 19th at 8:30. If your case gets resolved, I'd appreciate if you'd inform the court. That way we can give you an in-person setting.
We'll get that
All
done.
right. Thank you. Mr. Scott, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next appearance in this court is April 19th at 8:30. That will be by Zoom as well. I will need you to log in timely, sir. Thank you. Have a good day. You're free to log off now. All right, Mr. Archibald, does that take care of yours? No, you have Marshall Buckingham.
Yeah, Your Honor, Marshall Buckingham's a weird case. He's passed away. I've attempted to get a death certificate from the family, but they have not sent me one. And so I don't know exactly how to proceed from here. So.
Is there do you know if there was a obituary published?
Your Honor, I've not seen a published obituary. I've seen some Facebook posts and I've seen a GoFundMe, but I've not seen an actual obituary published.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Sells.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Sells, this is cause number 23-CR-91666-B, State versus Marshall Buckingham. Mr. Archibald informs the court that Mr. Buckingham has passed away, but he has not had any luck in getting the family to provide him with a death certificate. He's seen Facebook posts and a GoFundMe.
Aha. Well, we have an investigator, David Wood. I'll ask David to see what he can find. Do we have any idea what county the gentleman may have passed away in?
It was either Aransas County or San Patricio County. I think he lived in Aransas County, but I think he worked in San Patricio. So.
Well, we'll just set this, I guess, for an additional status on April 19th, and hopefully more information will have been provided before then.
Thank you. Mr. Sells, I can tell you that he worked at Virginia's on the Bay in Port Aransas. So I mean that's kind of, but I believe he lived in Aransas County.
Well, he had a unindicted felony with the district attorney's office. So I can check with them and see maybe if they have any information as well.
I think they have the same information I provided you guys. So,
okay.
But yeah.
Heck with them.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Archibald. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, Dakota Rain has made an appearance. I'm gonna let him in. That was Mr. Schimmel's client. He is Mr. Schimmel's client. This is cause number 19-CR-85714, State versus Dakota Rain. I don't know if Mr. Schimmel was going to log back on or not. Mr. Sells, do you have any information, or Mr. Yeah,
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
This was an attached felony case that ended in a mistrial. There's been some negotiations going on. We needed to confirm with the victim before we could conclude the matter. The victim contacted our office 2 days ago, and I expected to be contacted yesterday. I've not spoken with the person. He had been out of town. I just need to verify with him. I believe we can get this case resolved. So if we can get a trial setting, hold everybody's feet to the fire, I think we can make a decision on it because we're now in contact with the victim.
All right, then I'm going to set this for pretrial because this is an old case.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to set this for pretrial on February 9th at 9 a.m. Mr. Rain, your next appearance will be February 9th at 9 a.m. That will be in person in the San Patricio County Courthouse in Sinton. We will send out setting notices to both you and your attorney.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rain. I appreciate your appearance this morning. You're free to log off.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see, we have Attorney Brandon Lopez. I'm admitting into the courtroom.
Judge, also for your information, in the courtroom, I have Mr. Robert Garcia. He's the attorney for Edward Salinas. They're on page 8, just letting you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see, who did I just let in? Lopez. He has Jason Ramirez. Jason Ramirez on page 8 of the docket. This is cause number 22-CR-90165, State of Texas versus Jason Ramirez. Good morning, Mr. Lopez.
Good morning, Judge. So
What
Mr.
information-
Ramirez, his felony is still unindicted. We have a regular check-in with that court once a month just to make sure nothing's happening, and we're just still waiting for it to be indicted, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, I need you to remove your cap, sir. You are in a courtroom. Maybe he can't hear me. I don't know. Mr. Ramirez, can you hear me? Yeah, he can't hear me. It says connecting to audio. All right, so we will give you an additional felony status of April 19th. That will be at 8:30. Of course, you'll have the option to change the time if you need to. And we will send out setting notices. Your client does have warrants. Let me see. I don't have the file, but let me see if I can find his case.
Your Honor.
Judge, this is Karina. Yes, ma'am. He does have a active case warrant on the one on the docket, and then another case he has with Mr. Lopez also has a warrant with that one as well.
Are those, Mr. Ramirez, can you hear the court? All right, are those, Karina, are they for failure to appear out of this court? Do you know what the
Yes, ma'am.
warrants? They are, okay, so
Yes,
he
ma'am.
has made an appearance this morning, so Mr. Lopez, I will sign, what is it I signed?
The order recalling the warrant.
Yes, I will sign an order recalling the warrant. If your client wishes to get a copy of those, he can come up to the courthouse to get a copy. Mr. Lopez, if you'll speak with your client about his next appearance, I'll need him to stand still while he's in court and not wear a cap.
No, I understand, Your Honor, and I'll let him know next time. I think he heard you there.
Okay.
May I address the court regarding Mr. Ramirez real quickly?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Sells.
Is there a felony on him from another jurisdiction?
Not that I understand, but maybe the court has different information. I understand it's a felony in San Patricio and that misdemeanor there.
Well, my records reflect that the felony was dismissed in July or August of 2023. It was a state jail felony. Possessed a controlled substance less than a gram, an arrest by the Department of Public Safety. The attorney on that case was Andrew Palacio. My status is showing that it was dismissed.
Mr. Lopez, did you speak with the district attorney's office recently?
I know my office has, I know we checked in probably a month and a half ago with you, and we had gotten off the phone, and my office informed me that it was still pending yesterday when I was prepping for today. But I don't think that was the felony that we had there in San Patricio that we were working on, Your Honor. If the court would allow me to do some research and I can report into your clerk, I can look into that, but I just don't have it in front of me.
Let me see if I can find his case as well.
I show one felony on 4/16 of 2022. I show an NFCF dismissal July 26, 2023.
Give me just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sells, I show a pre-file 22 PRF 111. Mr. Palacios was appointed on June 7th of 2022. It's alleged to have been committed April 16th of 2022. Is this the same case?
That's the exact same case. I go into the documents part of Odyssey, and I see NFCF dismissal 7/6/2023, and the case status shows it to be a dismissed case. I think it's something we could probably set the misdemeanors for court hearing, unless there's some other information.
And Your Honor, I'd be okay with setting the misdemeanors, and I'll double check on our end what we have.
Let's do that. Of course, if it is still pending, we won't make you move forward until it's resolved, but let's go on and set this in person. Then we're going to disregard that felony status setting of April 19th. And we're going to set this for March 7th for pretrial. And Mr. Lopez, I have a 9 a.m. and a 1:30.
Your Honor, if we could do the 1:30, that'd be great.
All right. Mr. Ramirez, your next court appearance will be in person at the San Patricio County Courthouse in Sinton. It's set for March 7th at 1:30. We will send out a setting notice to you and your attorney. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Lopez.
Yes, ma'am. And the warrant is, I have a warrant. Is that what? Because the only cases that I've had, ma'am, is just this San Patricio case, and I haven't been in any other trouble. So I remember I went to the courthouse and in person one time. That was the last time I went in person, and then they said that it got when I went in person and talked to the clerk, they said there was no court that day, and then they called my attorney on the phone, the clerk. They sent me to her to go see what happened, and then I had never got like a paper of a reset date or anything, and I haven't missed any court dates. Like every court date that I have gotten, I have shown up to and haven't missed anything. So I just didn't know anything about a warrant.
Let me see.
Because I've attended every single court that I've had.
It seems that we had a court appearance by Zoom back in October. that you didn't appear on. So there was a warrant issued. I'm going to recall that warrant today. If you want to come by and get a copy of the recall and carry it with you, you're welcome to do that. But I will recall the warrant today.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Jason, we'll be in touch, sir. We'll talk.
Hey, brother.
thank you.
Oh.
All right, thank you
Oh, sorry.
both, Mr. Lopez and Mr. Ramirez. Thank you for your appearance this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Derek, who do you have in the courtroom?
I have Edward Salinas. It's the two cases just above that last one.
Okay, and Mr. Garcia is with him, or?
Yes, he is here also.
All right.
They're coming up to the computer.
All right, then the court is calling cause number 23-CR-91473-B and 23-CR-92366-B, State versus Edward Salinas. Good morning,
Hi,
Mr. Salinas. Good morning, Mr. Garcia.
Hi, Judge. And
Hello.
James there too as well? Yeah.
Yes,
I'm right
Mr.
here, brother.
Sells is here. All right, so
James.
we've got a driving while intoxicated and a driving while license suspended or invalid.
Yes, Judge. I don't think there's been anything filed on it yet. I don't know, James would know better than me from what
Is there a felony or are we waiting on
we're waiting.
labs?
Yes, waiting on labs is what I was told the last time.
Okay,
I am checking that.
Initially, our very first time we had spoken to the prosecutor and they had said they would do a pretrial diversion, but then the second time around, they said they didn't remember.
The last note I see is March 24th of 2023, lab results pending on blood draw. We have not received it, and I think Mr. Garcia, Mr. Goddard said he cannot evaluate for the pretrial diversion until blood results have been received.
okay. So we will set this for an additional status then by Zoom.
Great. I drove again. I made the mistake, Judge. I just drove in from Waco, 5 hours. And last time I did the same and you told me, and I should have known. I should have known.
Okay. The next one, once again, is by Zoom. You can do it from Waco. You don't have to drive all this way. We're gonna set it for April 19th. And Mr. Salinas,
Yes, yeah.
it's going, and Mr. Garcia, it's going to be set for 8:30. But Mr. Garcia, if you need to change that time, we have hour increments in the morning. So you'll have the option to change that time. But both of you are certainly welcome to appear by Zoom on April 19th.
It's good to see James at least, because we started together in Nueces County, believe it or not.
Well,
I used to
there
beat
you
him in
go.
tennis all the time. So.
Uh-oh.
Still playing tennis after all these years.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, Mr. Garcia and Mr. Salinas, if
Yes,
you'll
ma'am.
just go to my coordinator's office, which is just right around the corner from where you are, and sign that setting notice and get a copy of it.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
And he
Have
will
a
be
safe drive back. All right.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you.
Matt Dennis, is he it? Is there, Kim, is there anyone else who's in the waiting room that's on the 8:30 docket? I only see
Yeah.
Mr. Dennis, but I don't
Judge, do
think
we know
he's
if Miss Eastwood is going to appear? I have one of her clients here in the courtroom.
I don't,
Okay.
I'm not sure she even informed the court that she was going to be on vacation, so I don't know. I see Justin McClure is here, but Mr. Stolly, I don't know where Mr. Stolly
Mr.
is.
Stolly stopped by here at the courtroom and he has court upstairs.
Okay,
So he saw that we were via Zoom here. He was going to run upstairs real quick and then he will be on as soon as he can.
okay. Take care of this one.
I have Aubrey Cepeda. That's Missy Eastwood's client. She's on page 7. Just whenever.
Okay. We're just gonna give her a reset then because Miss Eastwood's not here.
Okay.
All right. Miss Cepeda. Let's see. And she's in the courtroom with you?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Cepeda.
Okay. This is cause number 23-CR-92426-B, State versus Aubrey Cepeda. Good morning, Miss Cepeda.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Miss Cepeda, your attorney is not available this morning. And so we are going to put you on another felony status, and that will be April 19th, unless Mr. Sells, do you have any information concerning the felony?
Do not, Your Honor.
All right, then we'll set it for April 19th at 8:30. Miss Cepeda, that will be by Zoom again. Of course, you're welcome to come. We'll have the computer available in the courtroom if you need to use the technology here. That's not a problem. Sometimes Miss Eastwood does change the time, so be sure and stay in contact with her so that you know whether or not she changes the time of that setting on the 19th of April.
Okay, will do, Your Honor, but I've never spoke with Miss Eastwood. This would have been my first time meeting her. I don't have a telephone number for her. I assume the last time I came to court when I applied for the court appointed, that's who was appointed to me, but I have not heard anything from her. When I check in, because I live in Victoria, so I drove from there. And so when I check in, they're the ones that tell me when my court dates are and when to be here. I didn't even know today was a Zoom meeting. I would have gotten the link. I would have tried to get the link rather than down.
Your next one on April 19th is by Zoom. Mr. Franco will show you where my coordinator's office is.
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna go there, you're gonna get your setting notice and she'll give you the information on, the link is on our website.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the 19th, you can stay in Victoria and appear from Victoria, okay?
Sounds good to me, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
And she'll give you Miss Eastwood's phone number as well.
That was my next question. Thank you so much, Your Honor. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
That's good.
All right, let me go through my 8:30 docket and call the cases that have not been. All right, 23-CR-92052-B, State versus Justin McClure. Mr. McClure is in the waiting room. We're just waiting on Mr. Stolly. (22-CR-89984), State versus Jason Lopez. Mr. DiCarlo is out, not feeling well. Mr. Sells, do you have any information on that case?
Mr. Lopez?
Jason Lopez, it's on page 6 of the docket.
If I may have a moment, I can try to get the court something.
Okay.
It looks like if it's Jason Jamal Lopez, then the evading arrest of the vehicle is still pending. It has not been indicted.
All right, so we will give that a reset of April 19th at 8:30. The next case, 22-CR-90834, State versus Randall Scott Brown. I do not see Mr. Brown in the waiting room. We will set that for April 19th. I've just let Miss Munoz into the courtroom. Good morning, Miss Munoz. Will you share your video, please?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. Good morning. Miss
Good
Munoz,
morning.
your attorney is not available this morning. This is
Okay.
cause number 22-CR-89848, State versus Alexis Munoz. Mr. Sells is our prosecutor. Mr. Sells, do you have any information on the pending felony?
It looks like it has been indicted, cause number S-23-3411. It is set for announcement February 20th and a jury trial February 27th, Your Honor.
All right, then, Miss Munoz, we are going to give you an in-person setting date.
Okay.
We're going to set you for your misdemeanor case for a pretrial on March 28th. And that will be at 9 o'clock in the morning in the County Court at Law 2 in the basement of the San Patricio County Courthouse.
Yes, ma'am.
We will send out a setting notice to you.
Okay. You said March 20th? 20th?
March 28th.
Okay.
At 9 o'clock. Be sure and stay in contact with Miss Eastwood.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You are free to
Thank
log
you.
off.
Okay.
All right.
May I address the court, Your Honor?
Hello, Mr. Stolley.
Hi, sorry, I was up in district court and then I also had a Zoom CPS case and I have Mr. McClure.
I'm letting him in right now.
What page is he on, please?
He's on page 2 of the docket.
Thank you.
This is cause number 23-CR-92052-B, State versus Justin McClure.
Your Honor, this isn't a felony status. This was actually a blood test status. I'm awaiting the blood test results from the state as it was filed prior to, I guess, them having them. And that was the issue at the last hearing.
All right.
Looks
Mr.
like we've been waiting for them since June 23rd. So we still do not have them.
Okay. Let's push this a little bit further then. Let's set this for May 24th for status by Zoom at 8:30.
Your Honor, may I just address my client to make sure he heard that date?
Yes, Mr. McClure, please remove your cap. You are in a courtroom.
Take your cap off, Mr. McClure.
He can't hear. He's connecting to audio. Okay. He's connected now.
Mr. McClure, can you please remove your hat? You're in court. Okay, your case is going to be reset to May the 24th of this year at 8:30. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir, I did. May the 24th.
Yes. May he be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. McClure. I know you've waited. I appreciate your presence this morning. Your next setting will be by Zoom as well.
You're very welcome. I was starting to get worried that I was doing something wrong.
No, sir, you weren't. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am, you too.
Appreciate it.
May I
All
be
right, Mr. Stolley, thank you. Have a good weekend.
Judge, it's Kim.
Yes, ma'am.
On page 11, we have Attorney Barrera for Harold Alonso. He's having trouble logging on, so he's not able to be here.
Who is having trouble logging on, the attorney or the client?
The attorney. And I do not see the client present.
Okay. All right, then, is he contacting you by phone?
They did, yes, ma'am. Their office will contact me shortly again, just to make sure if he got on. I told them if he's unable to, that we need to know as soon as possible so we can reset.
Yeah, well, and let him know his client is here. Harold Alonso is present. He is in the waiting room. Let me admit Mr. Alonso, and I'll let him know his attorney's having trouble logging on, and Mr. Sells, if you'll see what the status is so that I know what kind of setting to give him.
And what page is this gentleman on? I'm
This
sorry.
is on page 11 of the docket, 22-CR-89926.
It looks like it is sitting in intake and has not even been assigned a pre-file number yet.
All right, Mr. Alonso, your attorney is having trouble logging in this morning. If you'll share your video, sir. Good morning, Mr. Alonso.
Good morning.
Mr. Barrera is having trouble logging in. Mr. Sells, the prosecutor, has informed the court that your felony is still pending. So we are going to give you an additional felony status date of May 24th. And that one will be by Zoom as well.
Okay.
May I address the court on this matter, Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Sells.
I looked up, I went into the documents filed, and it looks like the Department of Public Safety closed the case without analysis because it was submitted with a syringe. So I don't know if this case is ever going to occur unless the district attorney's office submits a specific letter requesting that the syringe be tested. So we're going to sit here in the same spot unless they make a call on that. And I can try to contact Ms. Silva Flores this morning on that, but that appears to be the current status.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sells. Mr. Alonso, again, your next appearance will be by Zoom, May 24th at 8:30. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. Barrera. We will send out setting notices and we'll let Mr. Barrera know about that date as well.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You're free to log off.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good weekend. All right, let me finish calling the cases from the 8:30 docket. I have 23-CR-91388-B State versus Victor Arguelles. I do not see Mr. Arguelles in the waiting room. 23-CR-91803-B State versus Grabiela Garcia. I do not see Miss Garcia in the waiting room. She also has 23-CR-91803-B. 23-CR-91269-B State versus Stephen Shaler. I do not see Mr. Shaler nor Mr. Cassidy in the waiting room. Kim, if you'll reach out to Mr. Cassidy, because he's pretty good about staying in touch with the court. So I'd like for you to reach out to him and make sure he was aware of today's setting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. 23-CR-91882-B State versus Paul Acovio. Mr. Acovio is not in the waiting room. Neither is Mr. Flynn. Kim, if you'll reach out to Mr. Flynn as well. 23-CR-925 32-B State versus Mario Moreno. Mr. Moreno also has 23-CR-925 33-B. I don't see Mr. Moreno nor Mr. Garcia in the waiting room. We will reach out to Mr. Garcia. (22-CR-90121) 22-CR-90120 22-CR-90119 22-CR-90112 22-CR-90111 22-CR-90110 22-CR-90109 22-CR-90054 State versus Sebastian Martinez. Mr. Martinez was in the courtroom earlier, but he is no longer there. And I don't know where Mr. Thomas is. Mr. Isasi filed a motion for continuance. I don't have the files, so I don't have.
Judge, I can have those brought down to you if you'd like.
Well,
I
believe he.
Yes, ma'am.
He's in the courtroom with Derek, I believe.
Yes, Mr. Carranza is in the courtroom with me. Juan Carranza is in the courtroom.
Okay.
He's coming up to the computer now.
Cause numbers 23-CR-91549-B, 21-CR-88695, 21-CR-88694, State of Texas versus Juan Carranza. Good morning, Mr. Carranza.
Morning, Judge.
Sir, your attorney is not present. I believe he filed a motion for continuance. I've not seen that motion, but my notes tell me that there is one on file. Mr. Sells is looking up your cases right now so we can find out the status so I know what kind of setting to give you.
Yes, ma'am.
What page is the docket?
It starts on page 10 of the docket, at the bottom of page 10, and then he's got two more on page 11.
Spam. Looks like Mr. Is it Mr. Carranza is your middle name, Crescencio?
Yes, sir.
It looks like there is a 2021 theft of a firearm is the only felony I see, and it shows that case to have been dismissed November 6th of 2023, Your Honor. So the felony looks like it was.
All right, then we're going to give this a in-person, these cases an in-person setting. Mr. Carranza, we're going to set you for pretrial on March 7th at 9 a.m. on all three of these cases. They'll be in the courtroom where you are right now. And if you will make your way to my coordinator's office. She will give you a setting notice. You'll sign that, and then you'll be free to leave.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Is it Crescencio or Carranza?
Carranza.
Okay, Mr. Carranza, thank you for your appearance this morning.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You too as well.
All right.
Take you over there in a minute. Judge, also on that next case, the Daniel Amaya. I
Yes,
happened to look at it yesterday. I was looking at the file, not the file, the case on the computer. And it has some County Court of Law 1 paperwork on there. And that's it. They don't even have an attorney. That's why I was looking it up, because there was no attorney listed on the docket. So I think this is just a floater out there. We probably need to do something with it.
was there a setting, is there a setting notice for this setting? Let's
Yes.
see. I mean,
I want to say there was. But it has some old County Court at Law 1 paperwork in there on the computer for this case.
I'm not sure why, because it's a B case.
Yeah, I didn't understand it either. I just wanted to bring this to your attention.
There is a setting that was given November 28th for January 26th at 8:30.
Okay, great. And he did sign for that.
Yes,
All right,
ma'am.
then, and he is not present. This is cause number 23-CR-92531-B, State versus Daniel Amaya. Mr. Amaya is not present in the courtroom or in the waiting room. Okay. All right. That concludes my 9:30 docket. We're going to move straight in, 8:30 docket. We're going to move straight into the 9:30 docket. Mr. Dennis, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, you have James Somby.
Yes, Your
I
Honor,
have-
he should be in the waiting room, is my understanding.
I have just admitted him. He should be appearing here shortly. This is cause number 23-CR-92201-B and 23-CR-92202-B, State of Texas versus James Somby. Mr. Somby and Mr. Dennis are present.
And good morning, Your Honor. We want to thank you for letting us appear via Zoom. Mr. Somby is currently residing in a inpatient rehab facility in Florida. If the court would like, I have like 2 witnesses in the waiting room who could give about 3 minutes of information to the court each, just about the rigors of that facility, that it is, Mr. Somby is in fact staying there, that they have drug testing, and mental health counseling, and provide them access to medications there as well. And this is a case where I've conferred with the state, Mr. Sales, several times. I believe we do have an agreement. I think this is going to be a plea. I am encountering some hiccups though, and wanted to ask the court and maybe Mr. Sales if we could think outside the box here as to how to proceed. Mr. Somby is checked himself into rehab in July. It's about a year program. My understanding from talking to Mr. Somby is that he wants to stay even longer than that in Florida, that he's really been able to be sober. And I have those witnesses, if the court would like to hear from them, just to say, hey, he's here, he's sober, he's doing great, he's doing everything he needs to do and staying out of trouble. And those would be Stevie Boyarski, the CEO of the facility, and Jerry Pagan, the general manager. But the crux of the issue is, Your Honor, is that my understanding from talking to probation is that for Mr. Somby to come down here and sign up for probation, he would have to wait 30 days for the probation to transfer, to get a decision whether or not it's accepted in Florida. And unfortunately, Mr. Somby doesn't have any property or place to stay here in Texas anymore. So those 30 days would be him kind of being in a motel room, if that. Given my understanding, and Mr. Somby, correct me if I'm wrong here, the status of his treatment is such that a motel room away from the support group, away from the support system, could be extremely detrimental to all the sobriety he's been building up since July. So I didn't know if we had, or the court had, the discretion to maybe suspend in-person reporting for that first month while the transfer is pending, and then contingent on those results, have them report in person in Florida, or that's kind of where I'm having the hiccup. I don't know what our options are there. And if there's any way, if possible, for Mr. Sambi to avoid that 30 days of kind of dead time in Texas where he doesn't have any support, doesn't have a place to stay, and wouldn't be able to, continue using this inpatient facility that he's paying for out of pocket and has been doing, my understanding is pretty good.
I do have the authority to allow him to report by phone, or in writing. Mr. Sells, do you have a position on this information that Mr. Dennis has just provided?
I'm sorry.
Do you have?
Your Honor, I'm fine. Just however the court wants to proceed forward with the plea, and anything that would help Mr. Sambi in his sobriety and in moving this case, I'm all 100% for.
Your Honor, if I may, we can do a request for reporting instructions in Florida, and that process can take up to 72 hours. After the 72 hours, once Florida responds, he will be able to go after that 72 hours.
He'll be able to
go back to Florida.
Okay.
It's like an expedited process, Judge.
Okay.
So we can try that if he were to get probation.
If he's Mr. Dennis, is Mr. Sambi's permanent residence now in Florida?
And that is my understanding. He doesn't have any property here in Texas. Mr. Sambi, would that be correct? You have a Florida ID and you intend on remaining in Florida for the foreseeable future?
Yes.
All right. So
I believe we'll be able to expedite it that way, Judge.
Right. Since he's lives in Florida, they can't keep him out of Florida.
Correct.
Okay.
It's just a matter of them saying, okay, yes, we understand the circumstances. We'll go ahead and expedite it.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Dennis and Mr. Sells, do we want to set this for a plea then, or?
I would like to set it for a plea. Mr. Sambi, do you think you could come here? You would be able to come to Texas and do the plea and the mandatory jail time within 60 days, 30 days? What kind of window would work best for you, Mr. Sambi?
Yes. Either or.
Okay. I would prefer 60 just because I think he's having, either or 30 or 60. Well, do you have a preference, Mr. Sambi? I'm sorry. And
Mr. Dennis
might not even be open. Yeah.
Mr. Dennis, I've been setting for March 28th, which is about 60 days out. Would that work?
That would work for me. Does that work for you, Mr. Sambi?
Yes.
Okay, then, Mr. Dennis, would you prefer morning or afternoon for that?
Morning is fine with me, Your Honor.
All right, then we're gonna set this for a plea on March 28th at 9 a.m. That's both of these cases. And if you need to change that date, Mr. Dennis, just contact our office and we'll work with you and Mr. Sambi to do that, since he is coming from Florida.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I just want to thank Mr. Boyarsky, the CEO, for showing up. If the court has any questions for him, I'm sure he's happy to answer them. But I just wanted to let the court know that this is and I've shared some resources with the state. In my opinion, one of the better facilities I've ever encountered from talking to my client and the resources that are available to him. And we're very grateful that the court and the state are working with us to help Mr. Sambi, maintain his sobriety and have the best chance moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Dennis and Mr. Boyarsky. Thank you for your presence this morning. Mr. Sells, do you have any questions or any input?
No,
All
Your Honor.
right. Then, Mr. Sambi, you are set for a plea on March 28th at 9 a.m. I'm sure Mr. Dennis will stay in contact with you and we will see you in March. Thank you all for your presence this morning.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good day and a good weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor. Likewise, everyone else. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
All right, the court is calling cause number 23-CR-91912-B, State versus Samantha Balderas. All right, Ms. Balderas, your attorney, Mr. George, is not present. I'm not sure where he is. If you don't object, I'm going to let the state give us some information on your pending felony so that I know what kind of setting to give you. Is that okay with you without Mr. George present? That's all that's going to happen.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
Okay, Mr. Sells.
Ms. Balderas has this pending unindicted felony from April 26, 2023. And that's where it sits still.
All right, then. We are going to set this for an additional felony status on May 24th. The original setting will be at 8:30 unless Mr. George requests to change that time. All right, we will send you a setting notice. Be sure and stay in contact with Mr. George. Thank you for your appearance this morning. And the last case on this morning's docket is Robert Munoz. I do not see him in the waiting room. This is cause number 23-CR-91537-B, State of Texas versus Robert Munoz Jr. This is also Mr. George's case. Neither one is present. And just for housekeeping from the 8:30 docket as well as this docket, those cases that we had no appearance on, they will be set for an additional status on April 19th at 8:30, including this one, Mr. Munoz's. Did I say 9:30? 8:30 is what I meant. If I said 9:30, I don't know what I said. April 19th at 8:30. I show a Mario Olivares. Let me see where he is on the docket. Because I don't show anything else for 10 until 10:30.
I think that's Les Cassidy's office, Judge.
Oh, okay. And Mr. Cassidy had one on the 8:30 docket. Let me bring Mr. Olivares in.
Judge, Mr. Cassidy is actually out sick. They were trying to get somebody to come up for him. And then we have no contact with Mr. Flynn right now. Joel is up in district court. He probably won't make it, and George will come down right after district court.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Olivares.
Good morning, Judge. I apologize for being late. I'm stuck at the Nueces County Courthouse filling out some paperwork, but I could make some time. And Les is a little sick this morning, so I'm pulling double duty.
Okay, so you're appearing for Mr. Cassidy. Is that on Stephen Shaler?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe it's a felony status, just trying to see what the status of that is.
Okay, and Mr. Shaler did not appear this morning. So if you can get him to make an appearance at some point this morning, we won't issue a warrant. But if he doesn't appear, a warrant will
Yes,
be
Judge.
issued.
We're trying to get a hold of him, and we apologize for that. We weren't able to send him a notice because this was sent to an older email account that we're we're phasing out.
Okay,
And so we saw that notice this morning, but we're working to try to get a hold of them to tell them to log on to the Zoom hearing.
okay. This is a driving while intoxicated. I don't show a pending felony, so I'm assuming we're waiting on some kind of toxicology report. Is that correct?
I am.
I'm
Looking at it right. Pending lab results, yes, Your Honor, from February of 2023.
Okay. Lab results pending from February of 2023. All right, then let's give this an additional felony status of April 19th at 8:30.
Thank you, Judge. And
Bless you, Mr. Sells.
if we can get a hold of my client, do you want him to log in via Zoom, or is calling your office, would that suffice?
I would prefer that he log in and make an appearance.
Yes, Judge. We'll work on getting a hold of him, and we'll go from there.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right, thanks. Okay. That takes care of the 8:30 and 9:30 dockets. Everyone has about 30 minutes to catch their breath
Oh.
until the 10:30 docket. I will see
Thank you,
all
Judge.
at 10:30. Okay.
She
Bye-bye.
does. Thank you. Bye.
All right, good morning. County Court at Law 2 is back in session. Mr. Shaler from this morning's docket, Stephen Shaler, cause number 23-CR-91269-B. I have admitted him. Mr. Shaler, if you will start your video, please, and unmute. Mr. Shaler, you are in court. If you'll remove your glasses and your cap, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Shaler, your attorney, Mario Olivares, he's with Mr. Cassidy. He appeared previously. I think there was some confusion about your setting this morning. Thank you for appearing. We did give you an additional felony status setting of April 19th at 8:30. That will be by Zoom as well. A setting notice will go out. Be sure and stay in contact with either Mr. Cassidy or Mr. Olivares.
Yes, ma'am. That you said that's going to be Zoom as well?
Yes, sir, because the lab results are still pending on your
ma'am.
case. That way you don't have to come to court just to be told that and have your case reset.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You are free to log off. Have a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I don't show any attorneys as being present for the 10:30 docket.
Your Honor, I have Miss Veronica Olvera. She was from this morning's docket also on page 5.
That's
That
right.
was Doug DeFreitas's client. So come on, Miss Olvera. She is here in the courtroom.
This is cause number 22-CR-90754, State versus Veronica Olvera. Good morning, Miss Olvera.
Morning.
Your case is being set for an additional status on April 19th at 8:30.
Okay.
And my understanding is you've already gotten your setting notice. Is that correct?
She'll stop by the office and pick it up. She
Okay.
hasn't picked it up yet.
If you will swing by the office and pick up your setting notice. Thank you for appearing this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Derek. Okay. Let's see. Oh, now I've got some attorneys. Mr. Lerma, we let him in. So he has Mr. Barbosa I'm letting Mr. Barbosa in. He is on
Yes, sure.
page 13 of the docket. Good morning, Mr. Lerma.
Good morning, Your Honor.
This is cause number 22-CR-89700, State versus Raimundo Barbosa. Mr. Barbosa is present. This is a driving while license suspended or invalid.
Yes, Your Honor. There is a pending felony. However, I am hopeful that once Mr. Barbosa can get his license reinstated, we can come back to the court. But the DA's office has informed me that they have the file, but it has not been processed yet.
Okay, so with a, I mean, this, with a driving while license suspended or invalid, the whole goal is just to get him either his license back or an occupational driver's
Yes, Your Honor.
license. So is he working towards that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any information on how long he might need to take
He would
care
need
of
at least-
whatever?
Yes, Your Honor. He would need at least another 60 days, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then we'll set this for, let's do May 24th. That's also a felony status.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then
And
that
it-
way, if he does get his license and shows proof of that, then the county attorney's office will do what they do.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. All right, so felony status, May 24th. Mr. Barboza, will you turn on your video, please? There you are. Mr. Barbosa, good morning. We've set your case for an additional status on May 24th. The setting notice will state 8:30. Mr. Lerma will have the option to change that time, and he will inform you if he does change the time. Thank you for your appearance this morning. You are free to log off. All right, Mr. Lerma, you also have Gavin Lovett. I don't see Mr. Lovett in the waiting room.
Your Honor, he's actually up here in district court with me. We're about to complete a plea.
Okay.
And I believe his sentencing will be set sometime in March.
Okay, so this is 22-CR-89536. Then I'm going to set this for pretrial on March 28th
Thank you, Your Honor.
at 9 a.m. And y'all are in the San Patricio County Courthouse?
Yes, Your Honor, we're up here on the district court. I will inform my client of the new date.
All right, if you'll have him come by the office when you're finished, he can sign his setting notice and get his copy.
I'll do that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lerma, on Mr.
Sure.
Levitt's case. And then I have John Henry Studeman, 23-CR-92383-B. And I don't see Mr. Studeman in the waiting.
No, Your Honor, I've lost contact with him. I did check on the felony. They do not show up here that they have received the file yet.
Okay, he does have an active warrant. I'm assuming he's not appeared previously.
Okay.
Then we'll set this for May 24th for felony status. And that's all the cases I show for you, Mr. Lerman.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend.
You too. Take care.
Thanks. All right, let's see who else we have.
Judge, just whenever you get Ms. Gupta on the video, I have Mac Blair in the courtroom. That's one of her clients. Also, I have Jose Montoya in the courtroom also. They are on page 13 and 14.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have them marked. She has not appeared yet. I have Mr. Cavada. Let's see. Mr. Cavada, I asked him to appear early. He's actually, his cases are set at 12:30, but I did ask if he could appear early. I'm gonna let him in. And Anthony Gaines is at the bottom of page 15 of the docket. I'm going to admit Mr. Gaines. This is cause number 22-CR-89826, State of Texas versus Anthony Jacob Gaines. Good morning, Mr. Cavada.
Just got another case on page 16 too, Judge.
Thank you. I didn't see that. I appreciate it. Mr. Gaines also has 22-CR-89827. Mr. Cavada, are you I don't know if you can hear me or not, but if you can, I need you to unmute. Let me message him and see if that will get us anywhere. Mr. Gaines, can you start your video, please? Mr. Gaines, you're muted, so if you're talking to the court, I can't hear you. Mr. Cavada is present, but I don't know if his phone has frozen. I'm not sure
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I can't seem to get through to him. Yes.
I
he
see
said
him.
Just host says I'm muted. Yes, Mr. Cavada, you are muted and I'm asking you to unmute.
I think he can send him a prompt to unmute, Judge.
I've done it like 3 times. That's why he says the host says I'm muted. All right, Mr. Sells.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is, oh, I've already called the cases. Anthony Gaines. What information do you have on Mr. Gaines pending felony?
Your Honor, Mr. Gaines has a jury trial set on a possessive controlled substance set for March 11th, 2024.
Okay. Then we are going to set this for in-person, a pretrial on March 28th.
I can build a house.
Yeah, arm baby girl. Ready to go.
At 9 o'clock.
Please tell me, are you done?
No, I'm on the phone, baby.
Mr. Gaines, your next appearance will be in person. It will be March 28th at 9 o'clock in County Court at Law 2. That's in the basement of the San Patricio County Courthouse.
Yes, ma'am. I will be there.
All right, we will send a setting notice out to you and Mr. Cavada. Thank you for your appearance this morning and for changing the time and accommodating me. I appreciate that.
Ma'am, thank y'all.
All right, have a good weekend.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michelle Villarreal Cookta here, whenever
Good
the court
morning.
is ready.
All right, let me get to your cases. Give me just a second.
I'm actually in your basement courtroom, Judge. Do you even see me? Because I don't see my picture on here.
I do see you.
Okay, good deal.
I sure do. And Mr. Sells was waving at you. I don't know if you could see him or not.
No, I can't.
I see you, Mr. Video Cookta.
Hello.
All right, let me get to your cases. All right, now you have some people in the courtroom with you, correct?
I do.
Mac Blair has 2 cases, 22-CR-90158 and 90159. Good morning, Mr. Blair.
Good morning.
All right, Ms. Villarreal, I show he has a pending felony. Is that correct?
That's true, Judge. And as of 8:30 this morning, that is still pending.
All right, then we're going to set him for an additional felony status on April 19th. The time will say 8:30, and of course you can change that time.
Absolutely.
When you're finished, Mr. Blair,
Yes, ma'am.
if you will go around the corner to my coordinator's office and sign your setting notice and get your copy, that way we don't have to send it out to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Blair, thank you for your appearance this morning.
Thank you.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
That's good.
Does he? Okay. All right. And you also have in the courtroom with you Jose Montoya, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
This is on page 14 of the docket, cause number 22-CR-90766. Good morning, Mr. Montoya.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Villarreal Kupta, what is the status of Mr. Montoya's case?
Same announcement as of 8:30 this morning. I confirmed it's still pending.
All right, then. Mr. Montoya, we're going to give you an additional felony status setting of May 24th at 8:30, but Ms. Villarreal Kupta will have the option to change that time if she needs to, and she'll let you know if she does. I'm going to ask that you go around the corner to my coordinator's office and sign your setting notice and get your copy.
Did the court intend to give 2 different dates, or were you gonna try to keep them all on the same date?
I thought I'd given you the May date. Let me, I didn't intend to do that. Thank you. Let me change it then. Mr. Montoya, I'm gonna change your date to April 19th. I apologize for that. Thank you. April 19th at 8:30, and you'll get your setting notice right around the corner in my coordinator's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
All right.
Judge Cavada here. Can you hear me there?
Yes, Mr. Cavada. Hello, sir.
Hi. I was trying to unmute, but it said that the host would not allow me to unmute, but I'm on now. I have another guy, Mario Suarez. Do you have him on today's docket?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm letting him into the courtroom right now.
Okay. All right.
These are cause numbers 22-CR-90629 and 22-CR-90626. State of Texas versus Mario Suarez. Mr. Suarez, if you will start your video, please, sir. Mr. Cavada, what information do you have on Mr. Suarez's pending felony?
I checked earlier in the week. It's still pending. It's from the same incident. I'm gonna guess that they don't really know because they don't tell you, but I'm just guessing it'd probably take another 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
Because of the age.
Then we will set him for an additional felony status on April 19th at 8:30. And you'll have the option to change that time, which is a little less than 3 months out. So we should know some additional information by then. Mr. Suarez, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next court appearance is by Zoom as well. It will be April 19th. We'll send out setting notices, and Mr. Cavada will inform you if the time changes. You're muted, sir.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, yes, ma'am. May I ask something about from the court real quick? When did this proceeding start? Because it's been sort of a hindrance to my ability to apply because it's an open felony case, and it's been difficult to apply for things for purposes of background, and it just seems like it's kind of been sort of staggering. I don't know if there's any way to further the process any more.
Mr. Suarez, that's something you'll have to discuss with Mr. Cavada. I have no control over the felony cases and the felony dockets. So you'll need to discuss that. I understand your predicament. And Mr. Cavada will have to have that conversation with you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. April 19th at 8:30, we will send out setting notices.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Cavada, thank you for accommodating the court this morning and appearing early. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes,
All right.
that's right. Thank you. Okay.
You both have a good
day.
weekend. Thank you.
You too. You too.
All right. Miss Villarreal Kupta, let's see. I have Mandy Johns. I'm going to admit Mandy Johns into the courtroom.
She's on page 14.
Yes, page 14 of the docket. This is cause number 20-CR-86028, State versus Mandy Johns.
Your Honor, same announcement as of 8:30 today. It is still pending indictment.
If I may, the unindicted felonies look like they're from 2022 and 2023 and not necessarily related to this misdemeanor date of offense, but they are unindicted.
I'll move on those, Judge.
Are you, okay, so we're gonna set this for a pretrial then? Is that what I'm hearing, or no?
Let me look at this real quick, Judge. We can.
Okay. Does March 28th work for you, Ms. Villarreal Kupta?
Let me check. If it's in the morning, Judge.
I do have a 9 a.m. on March 28th.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so this is set for pretrial on March 28th at 9 a.m. Ms. Johns, I don't know if she can hear me. It looks like her audio is still connecting. There it is. Ms. Johns, we're going to set your case for in-person appearance on March 28th at 9 a.m. We will send out setting notices, and any questions you have about that, Ms. Villarreal Kupta will answer for you. All right, Ms. Johns, thank you for your appearance this morning. You're free to log off.
Thank you.
All right, let's see who else. We have Tyler Souls. I'm going to admit him. This is cause number 23-CR-92126-B, State versus Tyler Souls.
Same announcement, Judge. He's pending indictment.
All right, then we will give him an additional felony status setting of April 19th at 8:30 with the option to change the time. Mr. Souls, thank you for your appearance this morning. Your next setting will be by Zoom as well on April 19th. The setting notice is going to state 8:30, and Ms. Villarreal Kupta will have the option to change that time, and she'll inform you if she does.
All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're free to log off. Have a good weekend.
You as well, ma'am.
Thank you. And Michelle, let's see. All right, I have 22-CR.
I'm sorry, Judge.
No, that's okay. 22-CR-90296, State versus Noe Martinez. I don't see Mr. Martinez in the waiting room.
Let's see. It's going to be the same announcement. Let me look at my notes, Judge. He was aware of this.
Okay.
He might be having trouble just connecting.
All right. We're going to set it for April 19th. If he can contact the court or log in, then we won't have his name called.
Okay.
But it will be set for that April 19th date for an additional status.
Thank you.
Then I have 22-CR-90504, State versus Ruby Sanchez, and she is not in the waiting room either.
Let's see. My announcement's the same. It's pending indictment, Judge.
April 19th. Felony status again, and if she makes an appearance, we won't have her name called.
Judge, I have had trouble communicating with her.
Okay. And the last one I show on my docket, no, not the last one. 23-CR-91189-B State versus Valerie Aliman. I do not see Miss Aliman in the waiting room.
Same announcement, pending indictment.
April 19th. 23-CR-92061-B State versus Andrew Parker. Mr. Parker is not in the waiting room.
Same announcement, Judge, pending indictment.
Felony status April 19th. And that's all I show for you.
Okay, let me see here. Yeah, as far as Andrew Parker, I did speak to him about a week ago, but tried to reach him yesterday. I had a hard time there.
Okay. All right. If they make an appearance.
Okay, I'll let them know
Thank
that.
you.
Okay, thank you. How long are you going to be having your Zoom hearings today?
We have an 11:30 docket, so we'll probably be on till about noon.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Judge,
Can I
also
see
for your-
Mr. George?
Yes, Mr. George is here in the courtroom.
Okay.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. George. How are you?
Better. They took a break upstairs, so I thought I'd better bolt down here and get this squared away.
All right, let me find where your cases are. Give me just a second.
Certainly.
Page 12, Balderas.
All right, thank you.
On Balderas, Samantha, it appears that we have not gotten an indictment as yet. However, they have sent me what they at least let me take a look in their file, and I think they're going to present that to the grand jury shortly. If not, we do have a most generous offer for the court's consideration, and we'll probably take care of it at that time.
At what time?
Either
You
I
mean
heard
once she's indicted, if she is indicted, is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
If
Okay,
she's in-
so
if she's indicted, what we'll do is probably go ahead and get started with probation. And should the court, accept the plea agreement, and then move towards, if that doesn't occur, I'll approach the DA's office with the possibility of maybe pleading towards a information, or I believe we're stuck. There's a little problem with some of the lab reports coming out of DPS.
okay, Mr. George, Ms. Balderas did appear this morning.
Okay.
And we gave her a felony status setting of May 24th.
Okay, that'll give us plenty of time to see whether or not the lab reports come back, and if not, whether the DA's office intends to proceed. If not, we'll set this for a plea in this case.
Okay. Is that all you have this morning? Oh, you had Robert Munoz.
Yes.
Mr. Munoz did not make an appearance.
Okay,
That's cause number
yes, ma'am.
Cause number 23-CR-91537-B.
Yes, ma'am. I initially met with Mr. Munoz on March the 27th of 23. He has informed me that he had a number of, he informed me of his criminal record, and I think he made bond, and I have not seen or heard from him since.
Okay, we'll have his name called. We did set this for an additional status on April 19th. If you'll just swing by my office when you leave here, you can get those setting notices.
Okay. And I'll, what we'll do is, so he was failure to appear. What we'll do is we'll check one of the search engines we have to see if he's in another county or, where he might possibly be.
All right,
But
Mr. George.
we did send him the notice on January 24th and he has an email address.
All right, thank you very much.
I'll stop around, Your Honor.
All right, have a good weekend.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. That takes care of the 10:30 docket. I think I got all the cases. Yes. Okay. Mr. Studeman is from, okay, that's Mr. Larma's. I'm gonna let him in so that I can inform him of his next date and we can mark that he was present today. Mr. Studeman, if you will start your video, please.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I need to see you.
I'm working on it. I'm
Okay.
not sure what else I can.
Do you see a little camera? It's usually down at the bottom. There's a video camera. No. All right. It's okay. Mr. Studeman, Mr. Larma appeared earlier. You need to contact your attorney. I don't believe from what he told the court, he's not had contact with you.
Okay. Yeah, I've been in jail in this county for a couple of months.
Okay.
Can I get his information, please?
Yes, sir. Kim, can you message that to Mr. Studeman?
Sorry, Judge, can you repeat yourself again? There was some noise
Yes.
in the hall.
Can you message Mr. Larma's phone number to Mr. Studeman?
I sure can.
Mr. Studeman, my court coordinator is going to message you Mr. Larma's phone number.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And we set your case for an additional status hearing. That will be by Zoom as well. It will be May 24th at 8:30.
May 24th at 8:30. Okay, I will be there. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And on that time, Mr. Larma will have the option to change the time. If he changes it, he will contact you and let you know.
Okay. May I address
All
the
right.
court?
Yes, sir.
I just texted Mr. Lerma and let him know that Mr. Studeman was here. Mr. Lerma says he doesn't have any contact information for Mr. Studeman. So hopefully Mr. Studeman can get that to Mr. Lerma as soon as possible.
Mr. Studeman, if you don't mind, and this is completely up to you, if you could message your phone number once. My coordinator is Kimberly Silvis. She's going to message you Mr. Lerma's phone number. If you could reply and message your phone number so that we can forward that to Mr. Lerma.
Okay, no problem. I will agree to that for sure.
Okay.
Kimberly?
Yes, she's going
Okay,
to, she should be messaging you through this Zoom. So don't log off until you get that message from her.
I think I just got it right now.
Okay, and if you'll reply to that and give her your phone number, we will forward that to Mr. Lerma.
Okay, tap here to chat. I'm doing it right now. Thank you.
All right,
You want me to-
thank you,
you want me to-
sir.
Okay, am I free to go?
Once you send that phone number, you're free to go.
Okay, I'm doing it now. Thank you.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay. That concludes our 10:30 docket. And I will see you all back at 11:30.
Good shot.
Thank you.
Both of you. Got that part.
Are you Mr. Studeman?
Yes, yeah, I just got part of it finally. I'm just trying to hang up, but I can't do that.
Oh, okay. I will. Okay, I think you got it. Kim, you get that number because I'm going to delete it if you got it.
Yes, ma'am, I have it down.
Okay, then I'm going to delete that so it's not on there. All right. Thank you. Mr. Guerra? Hector Guerra? Mr. Guerra, I don't know if you can hear me or not. I think you've been in the waiting room all morning. I don't have a Hector Guerra on my docket. I did let you into the courtroom so that I could find out.
He's on page 3, Judge.
Oh,
It's
he's on page
Mr.
3.
Palacios's client.
Oh, okay. I do have a Hector Guerra. All right.
But I don't
have
show a
him.
microphone on his thing. It just shows video on my computer for him.
Okay. Mr. Guerra, can you show your video, start your video? I let Mr. Salias in. I'm not seeing him. There he is. He must have gotten kicked off.
I've messaged Mr. Guerra to start his video also.
Well, you just message him that he received a pretrial setting of March 28th at 9 o'clock.
Okay, I sure can.
All right, thank you. There's Mr. Sells. This is the 11:30 Zoom docket for County Court at Law 2. I have Mr. Salias in the courtroom and Mr. Sells. Mr. Salias, I don't see Mr. Aranda or Mr. Gonzalez. Do you have them with you?
Your Honor, I have Mr. Gonzalez next to me.
Okay, then let me, I'm sorry.
Loading up, Your Honor.
All right, then let me call Mr. Gonzalez's cases 22-CR-90955 and 22-CR-90954, State versus Roberto Gonzalez. Good morning, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good morning.
All right, Mr. Salias, what information do you have concerning Mr. Gonzalez?
Your Honor, as far as Mr. Gonzalez goes, the district attorney's office has his file. They just haven't indicted it, but it's there at the office, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then let's set him for an additional status on May 24th.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that will say 8:30. And of course, you'll have the option to change the time.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for your appearance this morning. Your next hearing will be by Zoom as well on May 24th.
Thank you, Your Honor. On Mr. Aranda, his case actually got indicted, Your Honor. And we have settings in March, which his
March 25th is a jury trial for Mr. Aranda.
That's correct. March 25th, Your Honor.
Oh, March 25th. Okay. Do you feel like it will be resolved by the end of March? I know you
I
can't
think-
tell me exactly, but what do you think?
I think there is that possibility, Your Honor. That's what we're heading towards.
So how do you feel about an in-person setting on March 28th?
That's fine, Your Honor. That would work.
Okay, would you prefer morning or afternoon?
The afternoon, if I could.
Yes. Pretrial March 28th at 1:30. Let me put his cause numbers on the record. This is 22-CR-90018 and 22-CR-90019. State versus Richard Aranda. Mr. Aranda is not in the waiting room. Have you had contact with him?
We did, Your Honor. Could I just put myself on mute and then call him and see what's going on?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I will do that, Your Honor.
Thank you. I show a Mario Moreno in the waiting room. Let me look at the docket and see if he was on the docket.
I'll look it up, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, he's on page 8
All right.
and the bottom of page 7.
Let me let him in then. Thank you. I don't believe his attorney appeared either.
No, we didn't.
Good morning, Mr. Moreno. If you will start your video, please, and unmute.
I'm sorry for the hard head, ma'am. I'm at work. I couldn't leave.
Okay, I appreciate that. Mr. Moreno, you have two cases. You have 23-CR-92532-B and 92533-B. Your attorney, Joe Garcia, we did not see him this morning. Have you had contact with Mr. Garcia?
No, I've been trying to reach him. He hasn't answered me. But I think his assistant is the one that sent me the information, but I haven't heard nothing from him.
All right. Mr. Sales, do you have any information on Mr. Moreno's cases? I'm assuming we're waiting lab results on the DWI.
We are, Your Honor. There's some lab results pending on the blood draw from August 24th of 2023.
Okay. Mr. Moreno, we are going to give you another status setting of April 19th. It will say 8:30, and then your attorney will have the option to change the time if he wishes to do that. Just stay in contact with his office, whether it's him or his assistant. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and we will send out setting notices. Thank you for appearing this morning.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
You have
it.
a good day.
You too.
That takes care of Mr. Moreno. Oh, I see Mr. Garcia is now in the waiting room. Let me admit him. Good morning, Mr. Garcia.
Good morning, Judge.
Mr. Garcia, Mr. Moreno had just logged on and you weren't in the waiting room. And so I let him into the courtroom and Mr. Sells informed the court that the lab results are still pending on the DWI. And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
we have set these two cases for an additional Zoom status on April 19th.
April 19th?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Your Honor.
Yes. The setting notice will state 8:30, and then you'll have the option to change that time if you wish to.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
All right, have a good weekend.
Okay, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Hector Guetta. I think he was on page 5. Let's see. No. He's on page 3. He is set for a pretrial on March 28th. We'll just send out that setting notice to him. I do have him marked as being present. I think he appeared and maybe he just never logged off.
Maybe so, because like I said, it doesn't show to have a microphone. It just shows camera.
Okay, I am going to remove him from the Zoom then. He's Mr. Palacios' client. Mr. Palacios was here. I think because I have a check mark by his name, so
Yes.
I think he did appear. All right. Okay, then that takes care of our docket. Mr. Sells, do you have a motion for those folks who didn't appear today?
It is Capia's bond forfeiture and judgment NISI would move for those, Your Honor.
It's granted. We'll have the names called. Thank you all. Oh, Mr. Slice, hello, sir.
Yes. Judge, Mr. Aranda's logging on. He said he had to update something.
Oh,
I just got off the phone with him, Your Honor.
okay. We will wait for Mr. Aranda then, no problem. I had
Yes,
already
Your Honor.
forgotten. I apologize. Mr. Sales, it appears Mr. Aranda is having some technical difficulties. Mr. Salias did indicate that he did communicate with his client. Is the state okay with excusing Mr. Aranda this morning? I think he is trying to log in and can't.
Yes, Your Honor, I take Mr. Slice at his word that he's in communication with his client.
All right, then, Mr. Salias, we will just, did I lose Mr. Salias?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, then we're not gonna have his name called because I think he's still having trouble because he would have already appeared at least in the waiting room by now. So we'll just go forward with that pretrial setting of March 28th at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes today's docket. Thank you all for your presence and for your patience. Have a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Have a
Thank you.
good
I
weekend, Judge.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.